he goes on in that 15th verse, he says, I don't really understand myself. For I want to do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. Again, remember Jesus, he said the spirit is willing, but the flesh is so weak. Paul is giving us a picture of the old nature and the new nature, both of them, living under the same roof, living in one house. It's the conflict of two natures. It's the collision of two natures as they come together in disagreement. And it's almost as if Paul throws his hands in the air and says, I don't understand what's going on. I want to do what's right, but instead I do what I hate. And I want you to know, church, that the Christian life isn't about striving to keep the law. The Christian life is about surrendering and yielding and presenting yourself and letting the Spirit of God live the Christian life through you. That's the only way. Your flesh doesn't know what to do. Your flesh can't do it. Even if it knew what to do, it wouldn't know how to get there. I've thought about it. I've pondered it many hours. Like, if I wanted to change my own heart, or if I wanted to put righteousness in my own heart, where would I start? It's as far as I get. In and of myself, I can't do it. I don't have what it takes. I can preach 1,000 sermons and that won't get me any closer to God. You can come to 1,000 church services and sing your guts out. That won't get you any closer to God. Remember, it's surrendering, it's yielding, it's presenting yourself, your heart, every fiber within you, letting the Spirit of God live the Christian life through you. Our flesh doesn't have the capability of pleasing God. Realizing that doing more things doesn't please God. Being kind doesn't please God. Going to church and singing songs doesn't please God. All of these things are important and they're a part of the Christian life, but they only come after surrendering and a yielded heart. You see, what we do afterwards, after the surrendered heart, that's a response to a heart that's been surrendered. It's not the other way around. You see, a surrendered heart will be kind. A surrendered heart will go to church. A surrendered heart will sing praises to God. A surrendered heart will bring his or her tithe and offering into the house of God and support his kingdom. It doesn't work the other way around. It starts from the inside and then it works its way out. I think a problem that we have, many of us, as humans, we want to fix all of this. We want to work on this, thinking it's going to touch this. But we find out the more we touch this, the worse this gets. The darker this gets. Because out there, we run into pride. Oh yeah, look how good this is. I don't need God. I can just do the law on my own. This is kind of cool. Because your heart begins to get cold. It begins to turn dark. It gets hard. And when God speaks to you, now you wonder, was that God or was that me? Was that the enemy? Is that what I was supposed to do? And God's voice gets more faint and more faint, not because he's distant, but because you've stopped listening to him. You started listening to yourself. It works from the inside. Through Christ, the Spirit of Christ living on the inside as he makes his way. And then those things on the outside will be affected.